Oh, that's not right. Let's try that again. Good morning. Good morning. How the devil are you doing this fine day? Dan Cullen was here just before the show started, and here we go. He says, yes, good morning to Dan. Good morning to Hydraulic Breaker 886 over on Instagram. A bunch of other people whose names I can't begin to pronounce over there. But yes, good morning, everyone. Jim Turner is here as well. Morning, peeps. Morning, Jim. Got a bit of news for you in a second, but before I do that, very quickly, I need to end a bit sharpish today. More than happy to stick around after the morning monologue, but I've got to go and pick my son up from the airport. I'm about 30 minutes away from the airport. He's due in at 11:30, so hopefully by 11 o'clock we'll have wrapped this up and we can all get on with our lives. That means that today's recap will happen, but it will be delayed. And if you actually watch catch up on the show over on YouTube, that will be delayed as well because I've got to fanny around with it. Before we go any further, apparently, I know he's not in our midst at the moment, but apparently it is Peter McKenna's birthday today. So good morning, Peter, and many happy returns. I know he watches this show on catch up sometimes, so hopefully he will get the message. Good morning, generators of dust, piss into the wind and get your own to get your own back. Yeah, or to get your own back. Well done. Thank you, Chris. Thank you for that. So if you were here earlier in the week, you might recall I mentioned the fact that there was a sexy new wheel loader out in the world. It was a day or two ago. Got some news about it after this. Now, this video, you have seen it before. It's only 53 seconds long. I want to show it to you to remind you because it puts into context the thing I'm about to tell you. So 53 seconds. This is the Norcar, the Finnish-built wheel loader.
Meet the Norcar A7750 Power Plus, the mini loader loaded with power. This model has been updated with a reinforced extension boom that provides 20% more lifting power, enabling it to lift up to 1,800 kilograms with ease. Despite its impressive power, the Norcar A7750 Power Plus remains agile, stable, and easy to maneuver. And this is just the beginning.
So that's the Norcar. Good morning to Mark Whiting, who's just arrived. That's the Norcar, which we, as I say, we featured it earlier in the week. We have news, and the news is this. I'm going to get to the same page as you are. We've had a press release in from CNH, owners of both Case and New Holland. And apparently CNH has announced a strategic industrial cooperation with Norcar. Basically, CNH companies Case and New Holland are going to be badging that Norcar compact, subcompact wheel loaders. They'll be basically integrated into both of those portfolios. So reinforcing its existing lineup in the under 4-ton operating weight segment. So yes, you might not be familiar with the name Norcar, but the chances are you will be familiar with both. Well, you'll be familiar with Case, maybe not so familiar with New Holland these days, but yes, those machines are going to be badged as both New Holland and Case. So if you see a sub 4-ton wheel loader, obviously compact wheel loader with the name CNH on the side, or the name Case or the name New Holland, it's a Norcar. It's Finnish built. It's now part of the CNH setup. I haven't seen in the press release whether they will continue to sell Norcar as they already do. My guess is they probably will. But yes, that is coming to a dealership near you. So if you fancy yourself a little wheel loader and you felt a little nervous going with an unknown, well, relatively unknown brand like Norcar, well, you now have the peace of mind of going with a company like Case. As Dan says, yeah, looks a tidy little loader. I agree with you 100%. So that's breaking news for this morning. I do want to say good morning, by the way, to Gary Muirhood, who crept in while that was going on. We're going to get on with the show now. It is that time. I'm going to roll the intro and get the show on the road. Gary Muirhead says CNH, a massive organisation. Yeah, really hard to deal with as well. I mean, obviously, the case of New Holland, I think Iveco is part of their organisation as well. Absolutely vast company, but they're really hard to nail down. You go to like a Bauma and they have a CNH press conference. And you go along and you make your notes, or in my case, I record it all. And then the day later, you go and see the case press conference, and it seems to contradict everything you heard the day before. But I'm not sure if that's the case anymore, because I tend to avoid press conferences. That's one of the reasons I do avoid them. But yeah, but you're absolutely right, massive. And Dan says, I see down this neck of the woods, there's a massive New Holland and deer. I take it we're talking agricultural rather than construction there, Dan. I'm assuming that's the case. It is Friday, the 24th of July. Welcome to the Breakfast Show. I am your host, Mark Anthony, the Walrus of Demolition, the Lord High Chancellor of live streaming, the authentic voice of the global demolition industry. And in today's show, XCMG wheels out a new hybrid dozer. I emphasize the word wheels because it's a wheeled dozer. It's a wheeled hybrid dozer. You don't see many of them around. We're going to get the lowdown on the latest mini excavators from Bobcat. Komatsu goes super small, and I've got some thoughts on that. And Kleeman is crushing it. And in today's episode of Mark's Morning Monologue, in all part of my my ambition to receive no Christmas cards whatsoever from anyone in the industry, today's morning monologue is called Cowardice and Capitulation. That'll go down a storm, and no mistake. Let's have a look. Yeah, it is all agri machines down there. Not surprised. I mean, it's a rural place, but obviously deer don't do much construction around here. That's a case situation. Thank you very much indeed, Dan. Right, let's crack on, shall we? We need a bit of Caterpillar, and then we're going to start with XCMG and their hybrid wheel dozer after this. Ken Hatteras just said, I'm off to the Well and Steam Rally Show on Sunday. Good stuff, Ken. Make sure you take plenty of photographs. Better still, take some video. If you want to grab some video and have it featured on the show, more than happy to do that. Wheel dozers. Don't see many of them about. I used to do the PR for a company that used to take some of the big cat wheel loaders like the 992 and convert them into a wheel dozer specifically for coal applications here in the UK, but particularly in the US. But XCMG have their own, and it's it's built in-house, and this is what it looks like. And it's hybrid, by the way. Here we go.
This is the world's first 450 horsepower electric drive hybrid wheel dozer. It is a new energy product that perfectly combines XCMG's patented triple motor drive system with a range extender. More importantly, it is a new choice for mining customers, bringing together powerful performance, energy efficiency, and a striking machine design. The XCMG DL450 HEV hybrid wheel dozer is developed on XCMG's international XC9 heavy-duty platform. It is a new generation product independently developed by XCMG, built to meet advanced international standards. With an operating weight of 34 tons, the machine delivers a 10% improvement in bending resistance. It is equipped with a 117 kWh per watt-hour lithium iron phosphate battery pack and adopts XCMG's patented triple motor architecture. The golden combination of range extender, permanent magnet synchronous motors, and high-capacity battery reduces energy consumption by more than 35% compared with conventional solutions. With a maximum climbing capability of 24.5, the DL450 HEV is fitted with 29.5 R25 low-pressure wide-base tires and an oscillating rear axle, delivering outstanding off-road performance and excellent passability. Its 6.88 cubic meters high-performance SU blade provides large-capacity dozing in every pass, significantly improving operating efficiency. The machine also features XCMG's new FOPS and RUPS pressurized cab, with an ultra-low noise design and in-cab noise level of no more than 75 decibels. The rear tilting engine hood opens up to 65, while key service points are centrally arranged, enabling convenient one-stop maintenance. Overall fuel savings can reach 30% to 50%. XCMG DL450 HEV, the ideal machine for ports, mines, large-scale mine site leveling, cleaning and stockpiling operations, helping drive your business forward.
Looks quite the part, doesn't it? Ken Hatcher, whether we'll ever see one in this country, bearing in mind it's it is specifically designed for coal, and we don't really do much in the way of coal these days. I don't suppose we'll ever see one in this country, but hey, listen, Chinese are still very dependent on coal, so you can understand it. They make anything. No one can compete with China. I agree 100%. Going back to the comment about the Steam Fair, Jim is planning to be there on Saturday. Should be some great machines working there. Good for your YouTube channel, Jim. Incidentally, speaking of YouTube channels, I launched my new one the other day. It's had a few hundred views, literally a few hundred views. But I've got an affiliate link. The device that I've built the channel around, this Pocket AI voice recorder, I've got an affiliate link. So if somebody buys one of these devices as a result of watching my video, I get a kickback. I have done, as I say, literally a couple of hundred views, and I've already sold one. $7.25 is heading into my bank account. Can't tell you how pleased I am about that. It's only $7. I mean, it's probably about £4. It's not a big deal. I'm not retiring on it anytime soon, but it does prove the power of the affiliate marketing thing, and it does show that people do actually respond and react and buy as a result of watching YouTube videos. So very pleased about that. Dan says, here's a question. How have CAT got the stop of blank firing on breakers? This is a big issue with a lot of people on breakers. I think a lot of the major brands have overcome blank firing now. Rammer, Epiroc, people like that. I think they all have. I wonder if that's any good. I would imagine it probably is. XCMG listen, they're top 3 of the manufacturers in the world. You don't get there on price alone. That's very AI. Certainly the voiceover was. Yeah, absolutely. And Gary says, I wonder if there's someone in China producing a breakfast show. Can you imagine all the content he'll have? They seem to be bringing something new every week. Yeah, well, listen, I wish I could copyright this show, although here we are, 6 and a bit years, 1,176 episodes in, and nobody else is doing it. So, but hey, listen, the Chinese, they could probably train an AI to do it rather than having this arseholes sat here doing it. 90% of blank firings is operator misuse. You are 100% correct. Funnily enough, I sat in on a Rammer teaching session once, and the number of things that you see people doing with breakers that you're not supposed to do, staying in the same position for a long while, just keep pounding and pounding, heats up the tool, ultimately breaks it, prying with the tool, where I think I've got enough broken. I'll just try. That causes damage both to the tool itself and the bushings as well. Loads and loads of stuff, all down to operator misuse. You're absolutely right, Chris. Thank you very much indeed for that. What have we got coming up? Yeah, we've got a bit of a deep dive coming up, actually. And we've got 2 bites at mini excavators. We've got mini excavators and mini excavators. We're going to start with the mini excavators after this.
If you are enjoying this episode, please consider supporting the show. You can leave us a tip at buymeacoffee.com/demolition news.
Yeah, so we've reported on these in the past, but Bobcat have now dropped a new video, 7 minutes long, looking at their 1 to 2 ton mini excavators. They did very well in our mini excavator World Cup a couple of weeks ago. Didn't win, but that prize ultimately went to Kubota, but they did very well. But here they are in all their glory.
40 years ago, we introduced our first mini excavator, pioneering a new era in compact construction machinery. Today, we proudly present our all-new generation of 1 to 2 ton mini excavators, the E16, E17Z, E19, and E20Z models. Over the years, we've continuously improved our machines, pushing the limits of what's possible. Each model and feature shows our dedication to excellence and passion for perfection. We've listened to you, our customers, understanding your needs and challenges, and use your feedback to design the best mini excavators in this category. With this new generation, we are not just launching 4 machines, we are unveiling the future of mini excavation. These machines offer unmatched performance, comfort, and reliability. Let's take a look at the machines in detail. This new generation of our mini excavators combines new, modern design with functionality and robustness essential for your daily work. The exterior covers are not only visually appealing, but our engineers designed them with durability, robustness, and easy access to service points in mind. We further enhanced machine's robustness with top light protection under boom lighting, ensuring you can work with peace of mind in all conditions. The improved blade design provides superior performance and precision. Design is an essential part of our machines, combining aesthetics with practical benefits to enhance your daily experience. Our machines are designed to look good and work even better. In our mini excavators, the hydraulic system is the brain and the muscles of the machines. At the heart of the system, the load-sensing pump ensures that the hydraulic power is delivered efficiently, improving the overall performance and fuel consumption of the machine. This is particularly beneficial in compact equipment like mini excavators, where both power and efficiency are critical. Flow center main control valve is the brain of the system, enhancing efficiency, precision, and overall performance by delivering the exact right amount of flow and pressure to where it's needed at the right time. This system is particularly beneficial in compact and demanding operational environment of mini excavators. Our new mini excavator delivers big performance in a compact design, experience remarkable lift capacity with unmatched power and stability. Enjoy a top-of-the-class working range, allowing you to tackle any job with ease. Unleash maximum digging power to get the job done efficiently and effortlessly. Get the job done with this powerhouse of a machine, combining lift capacity, an extended working range, and maximum digging power. Stepping inside of the machine starts with an easy entrance facilitated by the 3D handlebar and redesigned steps, ensuring convenience from the very beginning. In the cabin, operators will enjoy a comfortable seat in a very quiet environment, free from vibrations. With the new engine and the load-sensing pump, every operator will enjoy spending time on these machines thanks to the low noise and vibrations in the operator station. Enjoy a new level of convenience with our latest enhancements. The coming home lights will safely guide you from your machine out of the job site, while the deluxe display offers intuitive control, and the DAB radio with Bluetooth function and microphone keeps you connected with the world without having to take your hands away from the joysticks. On top of that, you will appreciate the auto idle function that automatically reduces RPM when the machine is not moving. This helps decrease fuel consumption, lowers noise inside the cabin, and reduces noise for bystanders. Experience convenience like never before. By equipping your mini excavators with premium joysticks, we offer to our customers an enhanced operating experience characterized by superior precision, increased productivity, and improved comfort. These benefits not only make your work easier and more efficient, but also contribute to your well-being and long-term reliability of the machine. Premium joysticks are an investment in quality that pays off through better performance and greater operator satisfaction. Simplify backfilling with a floating functionality and redesigned blade structure. The taller, sturdier dozer blade allows for enhanced extensions ensuring efficient and precise work. Get your work done faster with our innovative design. The machines will offer up to 4 independent aux lines with the possibility to use any hydraulic coupler. They will help you to easily switch between a variety of attachments, tackling any job with ease. Adjusting aux flow and using preset modes allow for endless customization to fit your work style. The clamp diverter and direct return to the tank valve further enhance machine versatility, while the case drain line protects your attachments. On top of that, our unique ASAC technology provides unmatched system adaptability, making your work easier, more efficient, and effective. Our machines are designed with transportability in mind. Improved positioning of lift points, with provisions for forklift usage, makes loading and unloading easier than ever. Integrated upper structure tie-down points ensure secure transport, while the automatic slew brake provides peace of mind. Enjoy hassle-free transport to your next job site with our user-friendly features. Thank you for being part of our journey. Together, we are building the future. Experience the best in mini excavation. Experience our new generation of 1 to 2 ton mini excavators. And happy digging!
All right, we're going to go back a little bit. First of all, there's that from Dan. Very good explanation video. I totally agree. Yeah, very well done. Let's have a look. A couple of people. Gary Muirhead picked up on the fact that it's Peter McKenna's birthday. He's wishing him many happy returns. Dan is saying likewise. Dan also going back to our discussions about breakers. Relentless. Some operators don't understand how a breaker works. Very true. See it a lot. You know, when I do spend quite a bit of time on demolition sites, and you can tell those that do, and frankly, those that don't. I do often wonder why don't manufacturers have attachments to fit on blades of MIDI machines like road sweepers, rollers, etc. Listen, suggest it. Who the hell knows? Maybe somebody come up with something like that. We've done mini excavators. We're about to do even smaller than that. I'll talk about it before we get there, but first this.
Since the finance bill came into effect in April, the construction industry has seen a surge of fuel thefts. The rising cost of living has placed an additional risk of theft by employees and contractors, as well as opportunistic thieves. By using diesel dye and placing warnings of its use, you are sending a clear message that this is your fuel.
Now, I'm about to play you a video. It's a Komatsu video, but Fred shot it. So we shot it at Samota. They've only just released it. I'll show it to you in a second. But it features some of the smallest, the smallest machines in the Komatsu range, probably among the smallest mini excavators in the entire world. Now, I've seen these before, and I must admit I was a little dismissive. You know, I sort of muttered under my breath, yeah, that'll be useful for digging out your window box or something like that. But there's a bit in this video where the guy is talking not necessarily of these machines as a digging machine, but as a tool carrier. I know we refer to tool carriers when we're talking about all of our machines these days, skid steers, excavators, and so on down the line. But if you imagine this as a tool carrier rather than a digging machine, all of a sudden its compact size makes perfect sense, or at least it does to me. So, Komatsu, take it away.
Welcome in Italy and welcome to Komatsu booth. My name is Emanuele Viel, and I would like to introduce you to the micro excavator world. Two models, TCO5 and TCO1, are produced in Japan, and we are introducing in Europe as a market research. These two machines can make the difference in the job site because of their size and their weights. An operating weight below 600 kg, with a width below 70 cm, which can carry hydraulic tools and will be fully fit for any kind of work, indoor demolition, gardening, and application where weight and size can make the difference. The two models are powered by a swappable system produced by Honda, which allows you to easily change battery and replace the fully charged in less than 1 minute. PC05, thanks to its hydraulic output in the front of the machine, can carry hydraulic power tools such as a breaker, pole driver and augers. PC01 and PC05 has a very low transport weight, 350 kg for PC01, 580 kg for PC05, meaning that you can transport this machine with a much easier solution like light trucks or trailer, with as well the possibility to carry the machine inside the elevator for very effective indoor demolition activities.
Indoor demolition, to my mind, perfect opportunity. I mean, he mentioned augers and pole drivers and things like that. But what about a little grab on that, taking down partition walls? Fantastic stuff. What have we got in the chat here? We've got this from Andy Dovell. Morning, everyone. How the devil are you all this fine morning? Damn good, actually. Andy, doing well. And he says, is that a time for kids? No, it is not. Not at all. I mean, there's one thing about that machine that you can't overcome. I think if you arrived on site on one of those, I think your mates would probably wind you up quite a bit. But would I rather take down partition walls on an indoor demolition using that or by hand? Well, I'd use that. Would I rather bore holes in somebody's back garden or place piles, not piles, but poles, fence poles by hand, or would I rather use that? I'd rather use that. Look beyond the digging, and I think superb stuff. Be good to train kids too, though. Yeah, it would, and also to get them excited. I mean, while we were filming that, there were children jumping on and off of that all the time. That is a mini micro, or that mini micro would keep labor busy loading wheelbarrows. Yes, it would. And again, would you rather load a wheelbarrow yourself, or would you rather do it with a machine? How much is it? Don't know. I think Emmanuel said there, it's available in Japan. It's only here as part of market research. Whether they'll ever actually sell any here, but I guess if there's a demand, why the hell not? Don't know the price though. Beats the 1RB. It'd fit in the cab of the 1RB pretty much, I think. Right, we've got one more film for you today. We're going to be crushing it in just a moment. I'm just going to press a button. There we are, because Mr. Norton has just arrived all the way from Wakefield. He hasn't given us the weather update. I'm going to guess it's sunny today because it seems to be sunny pretty much everywhere. Good morning, Mick. Thank you for joining us. You're here for the final film, and then it's over to the morning monologue. But let's do the film first. We're talking Kleeman crushers right now. Here we go.
If we want to buy a new machine, we want to buy a Kleeman because we really have good connections with the guys from Kleeman and also the Wittge group because they got a lot of knowledge, a lot of parts, and if something breaks down, we can always call them, or they send the parts, or we can pick them up. We want to reduce the downtime as much as we can, and they're really helpful, and if something goes wrong, then they give us knowledge or parts, and then we can go back to our job right away. I like that the parts are original from Kleeman, so it always fits on the right machine. That means for our company that we found the right partner in the Wittge group with the Kleeman machines. They fit us, they fit the machine, and all together it's always working together from our side to the Kleeman and also the Wittge group side. And when we're working together, then it's the best for everybody.
Dan says this, that'd be a great, that little Komatsu would be great for cleaning the tracks too. And sometimes, you know, when you open your mouth and you're not really paying attention to what you're saying. I've just done it. Demo Dahl says, a bloke on site didn't know what a 1RB was the other day. I nearly slapped him. He's a digger driver, for fuck's sake. Obviously never spent any time on the floor. For those of you that aren't aware, the 1RB is, you're basically it. You're digging with a shovel yourself. I think Kleeman crushers are the Rolls-Royce of crushers. Great kit in comparison to many other brands. I agree. Yeah, I absolutely agree. I would say Kleeman and Metso would be my personal favourites. Sandvik make a damn good crusher, but those would be certainly up there. And Demo Dahl saying they are good crushers. Indeed, they are. Right. As I say, in an ideal world, I've got to walk out the door here at 11 because I'm going to pick my son up. He's just spent the best part of a week over in Madrid researching leisure clubs. Some people have all the luck, right? So yes, I'm going to wrap things up in just a moment before leaping gazelle-like over into my morning monologue. If you can't stick around for that, please stay safe, look after yourself, your family, your friends, and your colleagues. Have a good weekend. I hope to see you very, very soon. But if you do have the time and the inclination, I'll be back immediately after I've pressed the thing. But I do want to stop very quickly because Dan says, McCloskey are okay, but troublesome. You're not the first person that said that to me, actually. But right, okay, that's them as an advertiser gone then. Right, morning monologue. Here we go. We all have a pretty clear mental image of what a demolition or construction worker looks like. Calloused hands, weather-beaten face, dirt under their fingernails, and forearms that make Popeye look anorexic by comparison. They're so filled with testosterone that they will work through pain, injury, and illness without hesitation. So macho that they're utterly incapable of discussing their feelings or anyone else's for that matter. They're rough, tough, hard-nosed and hairy-arsed. And the women of the industry are pretty damn tough too. They need to be in order to withstand the misogyny that still perpetuates in some corners of the sector. If you were going into a scrap, you'd feel a lot more confident if you had a few demolition and construction men and women at your side. Which makes what I'm about to say seem strange and out of place. Because beneath all that high-vis bravado runs a thick yellow stream, stretching from the highest corporate boardrooms right down to the site gates and beyond. This is an industry capable of getting awfully vocal and animated about a pride flag, but it remains more than happy to fly a white one the moment the real conflict arrives. When COVID-19 hit the UK, the nation was instructed to stay home. But when the government broke away briefly from their Downing Street parties to tell the construction industry that it alone was expected to keep the wheels of the economy turning, what happened? Did industry leadership demand safety guarantees or clear terms for site workers? No. The Construction Leadership Council rolled over like a well-trained golden retriever, belly up, begging for a pat on the head, while site workers were left to fend for themselves in this strange new world. And that spinelessness set the benchmark. Look at the Competition and Markets Authority probe into bid rigging and collusion. 10 major firms were named and shamed for carving up contracts behind closed doors, stealing money from public and private sector clients alike. Yet, even though all 10 guilty parties were members, the National Federation of Demolition Contractors chose to sit on its hands. They did nothing for fear of upsetting the apple cart, despite knowing full well that some of those apples were demonstrably rotten to the core. A trade federation meant to uphold integrity decided that protecting the status quo mattered more than standing up for honest competition. Then came the red diesel fiasco, when the Treasury announced it was stripping the industry of its entitlement to a red diesel subsidy, wiping millions off contractor margins overnight. Most of the sector took a vow of silence. Instead of mounting a fierce, unified campaign to explain that heavy machinery can't simply switch to mains electricity overnight, people just stared at the floor, Nobody wanted to rock the boat, even though it was a boat in desperate need of a good rocking. When scientists and green activists told us to stop using dirty old diesel machines, we complied without a peep. Never mind the minor detail that viable alternatives don't yet exist. With battery electric plants strictly limited to light compact applications and hydrogen steel a distant pipe dream, contractors were forced into buying expensive Stage 5 diesel kit just to keep working in low emission zones. We paid through the nose for the privilege of continuing to do our jobs. And how did those same environmentalists reward that compliance? By declaring that demolition was the work of the devil, and pushing a dogma that assumes retrofitting a dilapidated, unsafe building is always superior to knocking it down and starting afresh. The industry swallowed that insult whole, even though the claim had zero basis in reality. And this cowardice is not just confined to dealing with government ministers or eco-protesters. It poisons our commercial relationships every single day. When a major contractor arbitrarily shifts the goalposts, extends its payment terms to 90 days, or demands a retrospective discount halfway through a job, the supply chain stays quiet. Subcontractors don't fight back. They doff their caps, lube up, and wait to be shafted. The sheer terror of being left off the next tender list keeps everyone obedient. The same submissive silence greeted the removal of grandfather rights for plant operators. Decades of site experience were wiped out at the stroke of a bureaucrat's pen by a single training organisation. Battle-tested operators were forced to prove the skills they had. Battle-tested operators were forced to prove skills they had mastered 30 years ago. The industry stared at its boots, kept its head down. When workers were pushed into precarious self-employment, there was no collective outrage. There was no pushback from the firms relying on the labour, just total capitulation. And at the site level, when individual workers face unbearable conditions, poor facilities, or financial ruin, they take it on the chin and they soldier on as best they can. No apple carts upturned, no boats rocked, just a quiet, stoic acceptance of whatever hardship comes down the pipe. And sadly, this industry-wide cowardice is contagious, and it's capable of spreading beyond the site boundaries, and it's even infected my corner of the business too. Reasonable questioning from legitimate journalists has given way to reporting only of the positive. Fear of jeopardizing their advertising income has turned most publications into obedient drones. How can an industry comprising almost 3 million rough, tough, battle-hardened individuals be so easily manipulated? Because we have confused physical endurance with institutional strength. Taking a beating without complaining is not the same as bravery. It's just submission. At site level, toughness is a survival mechanism. But in the boardroom, real toughness requires a backbone. And in many instances, that backbone is sadly lacking. We've built a commercial ecosystem fueled by fear. Subcontractors fear main contractors. Main contractors fear developers. Trade associations fear losing membership dues from the industry heavyweights. Magazines fear losing their advertisers. Everyone is terrified that if they speak out, blow the whistle, or demand fair treatment, a competitor will jump straight into their grave before their body is even cold. Until this industry learns to match its collective corporate spine with the individual grit of the men and the women on the tools, it will remain exactly what it is today, a giant with the body of a lion, but the heart of a mouse. Yeah. That'll go down a storm in the corridors of power, and no mistake. Right, what have we got here? Dan saying, have a good weekend, everyone. Hopefully not too long, but let's see what cancellations today on public transport. Fingers crossed for you. XTech for 15 years, all power screen, now all power screen and EvoQuip. I did some work for it, XTech back in the day. Very bloody true. Why are people so afraid to speak up? Because that's the way we've been conditioned. It really is. Mercy crept in the back door when I wasn't paying attention. What a way to hit the nail on the head. Well said. Thank you very much indeed. Mercy. Chris Ford says, more speed, less haste. I'm a fine one to comment. Breakfast cob demolished. Back to the crusher. Good man. What was in your cob, by the way? And Dan says, it's like these tier ones. Your plant has to be no older than 3 years old. It's madness. Yeah. Yeah. Now, bearing in mind, those tier ones, what is there? Proper tier ones, 50 of them, 100, and there's 50,000 construction firms that are reporting to them. If those 50,000 had got together and said, tier ones, no. If you want brand new machines, you buy them. We'll drive them for you, but you buy them. We're not playing your silly game. But we didn't. We just went, yes, sir. Yes, sir. 3 bags full, sir. It's at odds with everything we all know and kind of love about this industry. It is rough, tough, rough around the edges. Demolition and construction folk are rough and tough. They're hard-nosed, they're hairy-arsed. But as soon as somebody in authority says, do a thing, oh, yeah, we'll do that. No question about it. Have you heard anything from the CMA who they're after next? I see the water companies are up to some dodgy stuff. Shocker. Not content with polluting our waterways, they're up to dodgy stuff as well. Gary, listen, I got a whisper. Try to remember. I reckon it's 3 years ago. I got a whisper that the next target of the CMA demolition-wise was up in your part of the world. I had it on very, very good authority that the CMA were sniffing around the Scottish demolition industry. Now, they may have uncovered nothing, in which case that's why I've not heard anything about it. Maybe it's going on undercover and then they're not talking about it yet. I don't know, but I had it on really, really good authority that was their next target. Because when you think back to the CMA investigation last time around, with the exception of DSM, all of the contractors involved in that first roundup were all London-based. And, I know that the demolition fraternity refer to the London lot as the London Mafia, but you can't tell me that Birmingham hasn't got its own mafia. The Manchester, Leeds, Newcastle hasn't got its own mafia. Glasgow, Edinburgh, maybe as well. So, and as you saw from all that came out of it, it's low-hanging fruit. It's if they've basically got the template now. The CMA have got the template. They just basically have to go and repeat what they did in London, but do it further north. I love to speak up and state my opinion. I doubt it's ever got me very far. It's a shame industry leaders can't bring themselves to take one step forward. No. And I mean, I find it in my little corner of the world. There is a you're going to see my fingers for this. There is a magazine. I use that term advisedly. There is a magazine that basically, I think primarily to counter me. Seriously, to counter me, they publicly state that they will only produce positive news. Imagine what your 10 o'clock news on the BBC or ITV would look like if they only did the positive news. There's a war in Ukraine, there's a war in Iran. The political situation in America is a nightmare. There are people destitute in this country. But we're going to start this evening with news of a new kitten that's been born in Huddersfield. At what point do you consider that to be journalism? But it's rife throughout the industry, and I feel I'm kind of like a voice in the wilderness. Barry Manilow, one voice. All it takes is one voice, singing in the darkness. I've got myself sidetracked. But why is it that the only person that's covered the CMA thing to the same degree is me? Why is nobody else talking about Didcot? Because they don't want to upset the apple cart. They don't want to rock the boat. And when you think, I listed some there, and I'm sure if we all sat here and had a good chat about it, if I wasn't pushed for time, the number of impositions placed upon this industry in recent years, changes in health and safety regulations, changes in the Building Safety Act, for example, changes in environmental and sustainability standards, changes in PPE regulations, changes in payment terms, changes in employment to self-employment. So many impositions placed upon this industry. Red diesel was another one. And there was no fight whatsoever. And the crazy thing is, as I alluded to in that article, if I went onto a demolition site or a construction site and started throwing my weight around, effing and jeffing, calling people out, I would genuinely expect for somebody to punch me on the nose. That's part and parcel of the demolition and construction industry. I'm not condoning it, but we are talking about rough, tough people who will show you their feelings fists first. Go up a level, go up to management, middle management, to the major contractors, and all of a sudden, all of that fight is gone. News is news, whether it's positive or not is down to people's personal opinion. But how do you speak to and supposedly for an industry? If, for example, the red diesel thing, that there is no way to look at that in a positive light. It's an imposition. It's cost us a fortune. There's no good come out of it. It's not made us all switch over to electric machines. It's not made us chomp at the bit for hydrogen. It's not made any difference whatsoever environmentally. All it's done is take money from contractors, construction and demolition, and put it into the coffers of the government. To my mind, my job here on this show or in writing is to say, this is a fucking liberty. We are keeping people housed. We're building the schools and the hospitals we need. We're building the roads and the bridges and the railways. We're doing all of that, and you're going to pull the rug out from under our feet. How fucking dare you? And the other journalists in this industry chose to basically ignore it. Didn't cover it at all because it's quite negative, that, isn't it? Yes, of course it's negative. Somebody's killed on a site. I'll report it. Don't like it. It's the worst part of my job. But I'd like to think that by reporting an accident, fatality, a near miss even, you might actually educate somebody and you might prevent another one. But the other side of the press, no, don't report that. Let's just sweep it under the carpet like the contractors and the trade associations do. What purpose are you serving by doing that? I go back to everything I said in that article. Every time there is an imposition, and I do think it's got to the point now where if the government, environmentalists, scientists, lobby groups, tier ones, major developers, if they come up with an idea that will benefit them but will impinge upon the demolition and construction industry, they are now guaranteed no pushback. They could change the rules overnight, knowing full well that this industry will just go, oh, okay, then. Not a lot we can do, is there? We will just take it on the chin every single time, which is why that article, when it's finally published, is called Cowardice and Capitulation, because we are cowards, we don't fight back, and instead we capitulate every single time. It really is a hard one to take. Part of what attracted me to this industry, and I'm sure it's part of what attracted a lot of people to this industry, is it is a bit rough around the edges. It is a bit rough and ragged and a bit tough and demanding on its people. And yet, particularly in the upper echelons, it is deeply, deeply afraid. And the fact that those people that are so quick to surrender on behalf of those that probably wouldn't. if you're employed or if you're self-employed, you basically have to abide by the rules that are laid down by those above you, and those rules have been set by somebody above them. And rather than looking at it thinking, well, that's going to be an imposition on us, that's going to make life more difficult for us, it's going to be a hassle, it's going to be a cost, and it's also going to affect the men and women under us, our employees and our agency workers, they just say yes. Whatever it is you want, yes. Dan says, and me too, Jim, I don't stand for BS, yet it's stupid that the industry can get together and can't get together and fight for what we want. No. And it's at every single level. The men and women of the industry don't get together to fight for their rights. The subcontractors don't get together to fight for their rights in their dealings with tier ones. Tier ones don't fight back against the developers. Developers don't fight back against the government. Everybody does precisely what they're told. Somebody says jump, and we don't jump. We don't ask how high, we just jump. And in an ideal world, we'll probably hover until we have express permission to come back down again. Every single time. It really is a bitter pill to swallow. And as I say, and I see it daily in my part of the industry. There's a major piece of what you might perceive as negative news, and I'll report it, and nobody else does. And that has two effects. First of all, it doesn't keep everybody informed, which is part of the job of a journalist. But it also makes me stand out as some kind of pariah. Look at him, he only ever reports the negative. It's not true. I've reported positive news today, Norcar and Case and everything else. That's positive. That's a step forward for the industry, for Case, for Norcar. That's positive and upbeat news. But you can't tell me that an accident, a fatality, a near miss, a company collapse, none of these things are positive, but they are all vital information that should be shared. Rant over, people. I've got to go to the airport. I'm going to love you and leave you. I will do the recap. It probably won't be until about 4:00 this afternoon, all things being equal, but I will be doing it. So look out for that if you're part of our WhatsApp group. The article upon which that was based will drop over on Substack in about 5 minutes or thereabouts. So look out for that. Until Monday, everybody, have a fine and splendid weekend, and I will catch you on the flip side. Till then, have a good one.